Oh, hey there. I didn't see you coming.
So, how did it go?
Did you find it? Where are we? We're at home, silly. Where else would we be? Just Mommy, sister, you and me. Now tell me, how did it go? Did you find it? No? Pity. Maybe you're simply looking in the wrong places. Did you ever think of that? Oh well, who knows. Say, why don't you go inside and see if you can help Mommy with the cooking? The Creator was kind to us today and sent a big fat elk right in front of my bow. All right? My, I totally forgot what a mess I left here. But I was right, wasn't I? A real gem we've got here. Well then, let's waste no more time and get to it, shall we? What? Now would you look at that? I totally forgot about them. They're dead, don't you remember? You murdered them back then, both of them. But hey, no use crying over spilled milk, right? At least this means there's more meat for the two of us. You still remember how to do this, right? First, off with the skin. Slice up the belly, then out with the entrails. I'll look for a nice sharp knife in the meantime, to cut off the head. I don't think either of us wants to eat that, do we? Oh, silly, what's this again? We both know that's a lie. You did it. I remember it all. First, you set this horrible fire to your sister's crib. She screamed and screamed, and Mommy heard it, but when she finally got there, nothing was left of her but burnt flesh. And, oh gosh, do we really need to go through this again? You know how sad it makes me when you do this. You killed them, period. No matter how often you tell me you didn't, it changes nothing. You hear me? Nothing. Now please, let's start cooking. I'm so bloody damn hungry. Oh, by the Creator's name, why are you telling these lies? Isn't it enough that you murdered us? Do you really have to bother me over and over with your stupid, pathetic, and pointless whining? You know, sometimes I wish the Creator would have made me just a little less merciful. Just a little less pious. Because then I would have realized that you were tainted by sin long before any of this had ever happened. And instead of raising you, feeding you, and loving you like a father does, I would have put you in the horse trough right after you were born. Yes, I should have killed you. I should have just killed you. Just like you killed us. And now, you think you're safe because we're all under the earth, don't you? Well, listen up, my child. You are wrong. And do you know why? Because the dead don't forget. Do you hear me? The dead don't forget. Now enough of this useless chatter. I'm bloody starving. Bring me the meat, you spoiled brat. Bring it to me. Bring me a nice crisp piece of meat. 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 Bring me a nice crisp piece of meat.
Let's begin with a question. It might sound simple to you at first, but I pray you to think about it. What distinguishes a free man from a slave? For now, however, let us start this story where another one ended 3 years ago, with the death of the Lightborn. For 4,000 years they had reigned over this world, 7 arcanists who, through their magic, had acquired eternal life. In a time of chaos, they gave mankind what they thought it needed most. To be ruled over with an ironclad, fair hand. Within just 1 century, they united the shattered lands, and a single century later, their human origin was forgotten. They became gods, or Lightborn, as they let themselves be worshipped as. Yet the longer they reigned, the louder the voices grew that accused them of tyranny. The loudest being that of Naranzul Aranthi. And he succeeded in achieving what was once thought impossible. He gathered an army, overturned the Lightborn, and gave back freedom to mankind. However, the price for this was high, because where there are gaps of power, fights erupt. As such, this world grew into what it is today, shattered, riven, and broken into pieces. All of this was merely a diversion, so that no one would notice something else. The death of the Lightborn had set something into motion, a clockwork. Having long stood still, its gears now once again slowly began to turn. This is the story of someone who wanted to be free.
Shh, hey, quiet, damn it. You wanna wake up the entire ship or what? Well, sorry. That was a bit harsh. I'm just nervous, that's all. It was that dream again, wasn't it? Uh-huh. Seriously, if we had a penny for every night since we met where you woke up screaming, we'd probably be traveling to Enderal in our own starship and... well, not like this. Some things never change, I guess. Do you ever ask yourself if maybe you blame yourself for all of this? For what happened to your family, I mean? Well, there must be a reason that you dream the same thing over and over, mustn't there? I'm no scholar, but maybe these dreams are trying to tell you something. Oh, I don't know. None, you're right. But... who knows? Maybe everything is going to be different now. It's strange, isn't it? The way life sometimes goes. Now, if you had told me that a few weeks ago, I would have at the very least called you insane. But if the stories are true, there's no better place for a fresh start. Can you believe it? Apparently there aren't even any slaves on Enderal. It's amazing. Only this whole blind passenger thing is making my head ache. We're talking about 500 pennies here. Even if we're able to find a job over there, we will still need the money for ourselves. Don't fool yourself. What we're doing here is theft. Unfortunately. But anyway, what's done is done. I just hope the Endralians are easier on Outlanders than the Neremes are. Your mother was a fugitive as well, wasn't she? Where exactly did she come from? You've told me 100 times, but I just keep on forgetting it. An Eterna, right. She was one of the last of her kind to leave Maya Awanath, wasn't she? Ironic. Seems some parents pass on their fates to their children. Anyway. Whew, I'm gonna hit the hay for an hour or so. It's your turn to stand... Wait. You hear that? Shit. Someone's coming!
Someone's there.
Throw a hook to the face! Come on, dodge! You can do it!
Don't regret that!
Oh man. That wasn't part of the plan. Not at all. What in blazes are we going to do now? Yes, of course. That makes sense. One of them said it's not much longer until we arrive. With a little luck, no one will notice they're gone until then. Come on. Help me search. There must be a rope or something. And I thought we were over the hump when we made it on board. It just can't ever be easy, can it?
Poor lost souls. The probabilities have turned against you.
What the? Who are you?
You are confused by my sudden appearance. But my identity is irrelevant, as are you, dear Sirius. Unfortunately.
What? Oh shit, please don't tell anyone we're down here, please! We didn't mean any harm, these guys were just...
You ask that I not reveal you, for your intentions were not evil. And I believe you, but sadly, it's not compassion that rules my deeds. The first beat of a wing must happen. It is the only way the probabilities will fall into place. This is the way it has to be. The way it has been for eons. I am sorry.
What the? Oh no! No! What are you doing? Please! Please don't leave! We just wanted to...
Ostian, the two of you hid in the cargo and lived on our stocks. Then when Rick and Sebald found you, you gave them a beating. And all of a sudden, a veiled woman appeared and knocked you out with wild magic. Is that about it?
Yes, I know it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. Please, my dame, we didn't have a choice. You've got to believe us, the war. We just wanted a second chance, that's all.
A second chance. Yes, I think I understand you. You wanted to start a new life in a new land. And as my ship is one of the only ships still sailing the route since the wars, you were simply forced to board without paying.
Yes, we could work for you, you know? We could scrub the deck, peel potatoes, anything to pay off our debt. And as soon as we've arrived...
Heartbreaking. How truly, truly heartbreaking. But let's be honest. You did have a choice. You could have signed on like all the others did, but you didn't. Instead, you've nested on my ship like flesh maggots, enjoying the good life while my crew actually had to earn their keep. And now you're feeding me this bullshit about veiled women and wild magic? How stupid do you think I am? I know your kind. You are cutthroats, filchers. At least have the guts to admit it.
What? No. You're wrong. Please, just let me explain.
I don't give a shit for your explanations. If there's one thing I hate more than cowards, it's people trying to pluck my heartstrings. You two are scum, and there's only one kind of punishment for scum on my ship. Pull him up, Ruger.
But Captain, they...
Do it.
Of course, Captain. I'm sorry, lad. You should have stayed in their room.
But... You can't do this.
Oh, believe me, I can.
No.
Oh, well, look at that. Someone's woken up. Rise and shine. Tie him and his friend together and feed them to the fish. Good luck in your new life, friend.
Tell me, what is time to the dead?
Dreaming anyway.
So many people just talk, and
How
never...
does it feel to be powerless?
This is about your damn pride, Tina.
I know I'm not real. At least not according to your definition.
I know damn well I'm Tina.
There was nothing I could do.
This isn't happening. But then again,
This just isn't happening.
what is reality anyway?
Selfish fool!
Wait. Someone's there.
Throw a hook to the face! Ah! Come on, dodge! You can do it!
Don't regret this!
Oh man. Kill them! Blazes, are you out? With a little luck, come on. Help me search, there must be a rope or something. And I thought we were over the hump when we made it on board. It just can't ever be easy, can it?
Now would you look at that? I knew I'd seen someone scrambling in the mountains. What brings you here, my sir? Who am I? Finn de Lires, apothecarius by my path. Pleased to meet you. And you are at Sun Coast, in the south of Enderal. Where are you from? But wait, don't tell me. I know that accent. Nerim, isn't it?
There we go. Everything's locked up. At least for the night we should. Wait a second. Who's that?
Just an adventurer on his way. No reason to worry.
No reason to worry? For heck's sake, Finn. How do you know that this guy isn't with the bandits? You said you'd call me if anyone showed up. And now you're standing here, having a chat with him as if this were the bathing house of Ark.
Lo and behold, we are still alive. Now, is there anything else, Carbos?
I've got my eye on you. Touch any of our stuff, and you'll regret it. Unbelievable.
May I present Carbos, as he lives and breathes. Sorry about that just now. That's just how he is. In any case, if you don't need any more help, I'd suggest you move on. Follow the way east behind the dam house. It'll lead you to a village called Riverville. Here, take this. Truth be told, you don't look so healthy. Your eyes... well, whatever. There's something peculiar about you. I don't know how else to say it. I would examine you myself, but we don't have the right equipment with us. So if I were you, I'd ask a priest in Riverville to have a look at you. Who knows? Maybe you caught something in that temple. Us? Oh, nothing spectacular, I'm afraid. We gather herbs, but tomorrow we're going back north, to League. You should stop by one day if you're in the area. Someone who scours Pyrian ruins and survives could surely be useful to the apothecary and help us find some things. Us? You should stop by one day if you're in the... yeah, why not? Show me what you've got. Maybe I have some things you can use. Now would you look at that? What brings you here, my sir? Who am I?
There we go. Everything's locked up. At least for the night we should. Wait a second. Who's that?
Just an adventurer on his way. No reason to worry.
No reason to worry? For heck's sake, Finn. How do you know that this guy isn't with the bandits? You said you'd call me if anyone showed up. And now you're standing here, having a chat with him as if this were the bathing house of Ark.
Lo and behold, we are still alive. Now, is there anything else, Carbos?
I've got my eye on you. Touch any of our stuff, and you'll regret it. Unbelievable.
May I present Carbos, as he lives and breathes. Sorry about that just now. That's just how he is. In any case, if you don't need any more help, I'd suggest you move on. Follow the way east behind the dam house. It'll lead you to a village called Riverville. Ah, here, take this. Who knows? Maybe you call us. You should stop by one day. Yeah, why not? Show me what you've got. Maybe I have some things you can use. By the Black Guardian, you really are an outland. My role designated to me by Malthus. A kind of calling, if you will. Not exactly. Malthus designates our place in society. Generally the same one I walk the path of the erudites. And there's also the manufacturers, the sublimes. Within these roles, we are free to choose a profession, but certain vocations that are available to an erudite are not permitted. However, below does not mean that it is in any way inferior. Everyone on Enderal does what they do best, and who would know better than the gods what exactly that is? In the folly of my youth, I might have thought about it, yes. But then I realized that half of what goes wrong in this world has to do with the desire to... I am interested in living the righteous path, and to contribute to the preservation of my people. That's enough for me, and only the faithful will be granted the eternal pass upon death. And over here, there's a rumor that the Golden Queen has a weakness for men in gowns. Seriously, be careful with that kind of gossip. I know you don't mean any harm, but there are a few who might consider it heresy. Well, I didn't come up with it. Well, what can I tell you? This is the Sun Coast, in the south of Enderal. A pretty peaceful area, except for all the animals, and, well, that's pretty much it. I think you should ask the people in Riverville if you want to know more. They certainly have some stories to tell. To an adventurer? If you ask me, what you need before you adventure anywhere is some good old-fashioned shut-eye. But yes, it was once an old trading post, but now it's full of shady characters. Ah, and there's also a big Pyrian ruin south of it. Don't mention it. I wish you a quick recovery and safe roads. Walk blessed. Carbos, do we need the still tomorrow? Or can I clean all the tools?
Blazes, Finn, I'm playing. Don't bother me.
I guess that means no. By the righteous path? What happened to you? You look as if you've met the Black Guardian himself. Fever? Well, there could be many causes. Wait a moment. I think I still have some grunt root. Take a seat at the fire. The warmth might help you.
Oh, so now we're brewing potions for complete strangers.
Well, if the strangers are about to die of fever, then yes. There was that oath we swore once, remember? To help the afflicted, to...
Whatever.
Thank you. Grunt roots, grunt roots. Ah, here we go. So, let's see. Sheer cap, some water. Ha! Done. I can't make any promises,
Shit.
but...
Finn! The still! They've hit me.
Do something, damn it! Do something! Oh. Oh, sod it!
Do I really have to watch every step you take? That was a fucking close call.
Hey, I'm sorry, alright. We'll pick up a new one in Ark.
Yeah, and you're paying for it. Here I thought this bloody day couldn't get any worse.
This day isn't getting any better. Here, see? You already look a lot better. Still, you should let a priest take a look at that fever as soon as possible. The grunt root potion will wane in a few days. What? You mean the still? Bad quality, and too much heat, I'd wager. But, whatever will be, will be. Explosion? I'm not sure I follow.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Finn Dalleries. Died in 8234. Cause of death, exploding still.
Ha ha. Look, I really don't know what you're talking about. Maybe...
Wait a second. What was that? I could have sworn I saw something moving over there. Oh shit! Ah!
What the? Carbos!
They've hit me, Finn. Those bastards. They've hit me.
Carbos, do something, damn it!
Now look at that. Our mysterious survivor has awoken. Jaspar Matumiel Delveric. Jaspar for short. And you, my friend, are at my very own campsite. Before you ask, yes, the bandits killed both of the apothecary. The only reason you're still alive is that the impact of the explosion threw you right into the thicket. Most of your injuries are only superficial, but your fever, well, that's a different story. Quite a lot, actually. You're suffering from Arcanist's fever. Honestly, I'm surprised the old apothecarius didn't see that. Let me guess, you're suddenly capable of doing things you previously knew only from the bard songs, right? You're unusually strong, you have reflexes like a cat, and drinking potions or any kind of magically infused substance leaves a bitter afterglow in your head. Well then, congratulations. Your magical talent just blossomed. A bit late, given your age, but it happens. Put simply, the fever is a result of your body not being able to cope with it. It's not much of a problem for now, but if you don't let an Arcanist treat you sometime soon, things are going to get grim. Contain it, not cure it. From here on out, you're always going to be a little more sensitive than someone without magical gifts, but that's tolerable compared to what your magic will allow you to do. Prone to certain conditions. As I said, your fever will get worse if you drink healing potions, but you'll also be a lot more susceptible to nightmares and those kinds of things. Also, you should be very cautious of areas with magical contamination, such as Thalgard in the east. At first, diffuse headaches, general unease. Later on, your eyesight will blur, your limbs will grow weak, and you'll get a maddening itch all over your body. If you leave it untreated for too long, you'll either die or turn into an Orbaya. Yes, it can kill you. Everything has its price, as the wise hermit likes to say. And an Orbaya is basically a giant undead version of yourself with tumors and pus all over your body. Just never let the fever get too bad. Well, there's ambrosia, but for an uncontained fever, later you can drink it whenever the fever gets worse. The stuff looks and tastes like undead sweat, and is bloody expensive, but it's the only thing that really helps. You have visions? Not that I know of. The only visions I've ever had are those that come along with a good pipe of peace. You know what? As I said, someone needs to contain your fever as soon as possible. But in return, I want you to tell me everything. What did you do in that temple? And what's the story? I can't put my finger on it, but there's something strange about you, and that intrigues me. What do you say? Well then, the stage is yours. I see. My condolences for your loss. So, let me summarize. You somehow survived getting thrown into the open sea, and while you were half dead, had this dream in which you saw burnt bodies and a blinding light? Huh. And you also said that your magic didn't develop gradually, as it usually does, but all at once, right? Well, that's quite the story. I guess you know how absurd it sounds, but for some reason I believe... Alright, it's settled then. I'll introduce you to my employer, and before we leave, however, there's something else I need to take care of, and I could use a hand. The sooner we get that done, the sooner we can make for Ark. Ark? The capital of this country? Walls high as towers of iron-hard stone rest alone in the mountains in granite enthroned, never decaying the ages... You're going to see it soon. Well, aren't you curious? I work for the Holy Order. Yeah, but they're more than just a military unit here. Enderal belongs to Malphus, the guardian god, and the Order answers directly to him. In other words, they're calling the shots here. No king, no queen, no council, just an order of noble warriors always looking so stern and joyless that you might think they're struggling with constipation. Splendid! You'll need some information before you can help me, though. I take it the fact that Vin has seen better times hasn't eluded your attention, has it? For the last 2 years, there have been wars and unrest everywhere. And even though in Enderal there is officially peace, there are peculiar things happening here, too. Normally docile animals and fakirs attacking wanderers in the open. The dead awakening in hordes. It's unsettling, to say the least. The strangest thing, however, is the red madness. Yeah, the rumors. I've heard them too. And I could indeed imagine that they're true, and that there's a connection, yes. As I said, maybe. If you ask me, the Lightborn were never more than imposters anyway. False gods. Oh, I'm hardly representative. I've seen that a long life is only one of the things powerful, and the false deity theory isn't that new after. Seriously, say the Lightborn really are as mighty as the revelations say they are. Wouldn't they have the power to call down lightning on me right here and right now? No. The Lightborn were immortal kings, and that's all. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings. We're going to get along just fine. But we digress. Yeah, it's some kind of mental illness that makes people lose their mind. Just a couple of weeks ago, there was a smith in Ark who butchered his... He was drunk, but that doesn't explain why he screamed things like, "Fear the light," while he was doing it. Or a young woman of noble path who set her own house on fire, while her family was asleep. Now, you might say that these kinds of things happen, but by now, there have been more than a dozen. The fact that the afflicted's eyes glow red while they go rampant has made people call the disease the red madness. Thing is, some weeks ago it happened again, only this time it was a magister from the Holy Order itself. A teacher who instructs the novices aspiring to become keepers. His name was Yarrow, a man with more than 60 winters on his back. Well, according to the sole survivor, he entered the teaching room that day as usual, but instead of giving his lecture on alchemy, he gave a strange kind of speech where he kept going on about how mankind is corrupted and that it has succumbed to the void. Then his eyes started glowing, he locked the door and blew himself up in a magical explosion. Yes, it is. I'm not one for vows and austerity, so my specialty is recovering lost things. Treasures, tomes, memories, and the like. And the Order hired me to do just that. They want to know how a man like Yarrow could fall victim to the red madness. And thus, if there's something like a pattern to this malady. Doesn't matter. Yarrow grew up in a small village not far from here. And according to the Order, he visited it quite often after his partner. What I want your help with is finding clues as to why he did what he did. Great! First of all, I want you to travel to Riverville and talk to an old man named Alfred, a childhood friend of Yarrow's. Ask him what he makes of the incident, and whether he... Secondly, a farm boy told me that he saw Yarrow throw something into the sea during his last visit there. The winds have been blowing inland the last couple of days, so go search the shoreline and see if it washed up. I myself will take a look at the house Yarrow grew up in. Ah, and here. This is a map of the region. Yarrow's house is at... So, unless there's anything else, I'd say let's step to it. Just meet me at the farm when you're done. Huh? Treasure hunter. That has it. But let's just say I help people to fulfill certain materialistic desires of theirs. Just like the Holy Warden who brings back the lost shoe to the maiden. Only the maiden pays me to do it. And I have a more flexible conscience, so to speak. You do? That's good. But let's save the socializing for later, okay? Usually I am always in for a good talk, but for now let's focus on the mission. Huh?
You will not have her. Elfried stays with me. And drop the disguise already. I know a god of death when I see one. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, who are you? I wasn't expecting to meet anyone else out here. Save for the bandits, that is. No, I'm not. This ruin over there. You know, I'm a merchant, and my specialties are all kinds of things with historical Of course, I'm usually not stupid enough to go looking for them myself, but there was this traveler from Ark who told me about this place, the Three Rivers. Well, since I was in the area anyway, I thought it wouldn't hurt to take a look. Look, I know we just met, but truth be told, I really got myself into something terrible happened, and I simply don't know what to do anymore. Yes, my Elfried. She was kidnapped. By the stars, I was so stupid. We were just about to make camp for the night, and I went to search for some firewood. And then, just like that, she's... No, a Vatir. I heard him grunting, you know. He lives in that damned ruin. I tried to sneak in, but it's impossible. Please, you have to help me. If anything happens to Elfried, I would never forgive myself. I'm sure I have something that's useful to you. But please, let's talk about that once you've saved her. Oh, by the ancient fathers, thank you, and hurry! What? Oh, yes, sure. Walk blessed and stay safe. Over here, precious! Over here! It's alright now. Mommy is back. Yes, it's alright. I don't even know how to thank you. 1 second later and that it's a rare herb, and I hope it's compensation enough for your efforts. At least partially. If you need anything else, just come talk to me. Good, thanks. I think I'll stay here for another day or two. The traveler was right. This place really is a gold mine. What? Oh, yes, sure. Walk blessed and stay safe.
Now look at you.
Like the bite of flea.
Never works.
Lucky gift.
Letter 2, 8186 after Starfall. 15 years have passed since my last letter. Sira and I now live together in a small house in Ark. It's been 5 years since I undertook the Holy Trial, but despite what I thought, I did not join the military wing of the Order. Instead, I became a Magister. Why? Because the children I teach will shape the future of this world. Because there is enough bloodshed already. 2 weeks ago, the Trachessa approved Sira's concept of the food bank. It obliges every wealthy citizen of Ark to pay a handful of pennies to the Order, with which the Order will provide a warm meal for the Undercity dwellers once a week. Their reactions embittered me. The decree does not ask for much, yet they protested as though we threatened to take their homes. I will never understand people like them. As sad as this may sound, I am happy. My life provides me with a feeling of purpose, and I still have Sira at my side after all these years. It is strange, even though I know you will never read these lines, it almost feels as if through them I can speak to you. Sira, I love you. Yesterday, when Sira and I sat under the old oak, she said something. Yesterday, when Sira and I sat under the old oak, she said something I can't get out of my head. The greatest peril in life is forgetting one's own ideals. These letters, the testimonies of my path, shall ensure that I don't. Letter 1, 8171 after Starfall. Yesterday, a keeper came into the village to offer me a novitiate. Apparently, old Mother Ilana set forth the matter after she realized I was magically gifted. Grateful as I am, the matter raises a strange train of thought. Maybe, in some grotesque way, it was good that my mother died that day. Why, you ask? Because it opened my eyes. Before, it was my only wish to make Father proud. Father, a fisherman. Now, I cannot help but feel anger when observing the village folk around me. Day in, day out, they follow the same routine. Wake up, work, carouse, and sleep. Is this all they want from life? Don't they too take note of the ills in this world and have the desire to change something? Only Sira is different. She understands what drives me, and she shares my dream of a better world. I told the keeper that I will come, but only if she is granted an apprenticeship in Ark. Thank Malthus he agreed. Yesterday, Sira is dead. Killed by 2 Undercity dwellers as she helped prepare the food bank. How swiftly these words are written. Yet how can I even remotely begin to express this pain, this void? Sira always said it helps to write, yet it doesn't. I sit here watching the ink dry and the letters form the words of a stranger in my own body. I am a stranger when I wake up in the morning. I am a stranger when the sun sets at dusk. I am a stranger when I lie in bed at night. The path condemns suicide as a crime because we all have a purpose in this world. But what is mine? I look ahead and I see 30 winters of solitude. I look back and I see nothing but a trail of broken dreams. Our food bank caused brawls and murder in the Undercity. The rich forced the Trachessa to revoke the decree. So tell me, Malthus, is this my purpose? To fail? My thoughts are chaos and I'm too tired to continue writing.
Well, if it isn't my new friend. Any luck? Well, if it isn't my new friend. Any luck? Interesting. I didn't know about his companion's fate, to be honest. Irony of fate, isn't it? But the Order will definitely be interested in these letters. Keep your chin up. Huh? Keep your chin up. Well, if it isn't my new friend. Any luck? I did, yeah. Some kind of closed-off room down the hallway here. Just give me some time to figure out how to... Interesting. But the Order will definitely be... Keep your chin up. Huh? Keep your chin up.